All right, coming back home, Eskom says 8 municipalities have managed to avoid having their power cut due to non-payment of debt. The 8 municipalities have either paid their debt to Eskom or agreed on payment plans with the power utility. Eskom owed more than 10 billion rand in outstanding payments by more than 17 municipalities around the country. Last week it announced it would start cutting power to some of the defaulters from today. Earlier this month, AfriForum and AfriBusiness went to court to try and stop the planned cuts, saying that they would affect the lives of ordinary people, but that application failed. For more on this, we're joined by Eskom spokesperson Khulu Phasiwe. Good afternoon to you. Khulu, so clarifying that it sounds like threats work because some of the municipalities have come forward and paid in full or part. What's going on?
Well, very unfortunate situation, it has to be added, because ideally we should have a very cordial relationship with our municipalities or customers in general. So, but we had issued the interruption notices to these municipalities, in total 10 of them, 7 in the Free State and 3 in the Northwest Province. As I speak to you right now, all municipalities in the Free State are not affected because they have either made payments or came up with a plan as to how they're going to pay going forward. And all credit has to go again to the provincial government because they stepped in. The Northwest Province, I'm afraid, the 3 municipalities there, one of them, which is Mamusa, has made some payments and also reached an agreement with Eskom. The 2 municipalities, which is Naledi, which includes Vryburg, and another one, Ventersdorp. Those ones, they neither paid nor made any arrangements, and at 6 o'clock this morning, we did cut off their power supply.
I spoke to your acting CEO last week. We were talking about the fallout for businesses, for emergency services. He said that they would be warned, hospitals and things like that. Do you have a picture of any issues as a result of these cutoffs today?
Well, yes. In terms of the hospitals and clinics in those particular areas, they were warned. Many of them do have emergency generators and things like that to avoid situations where they don't have any supply at all within those facilities. Schools are not affected at all because, remember, this is not a disconnection, it's what we call a power interruption. So we cut off from 6 until 8 in the morning, meaning that by the time kids go to school, they have electricity, and for example, in places like Naledi, if they don't pay, then at 5 o'clock this afternoon, we're going to cut them off. So by then, the schools would have knocked off. And then, unfortunately, for people who are maybe doing night shifts or people who are preparing to go home and prepare meals and things like that, unfortunately, they will not have enough electricity.
So basically, the lights are on during school hours?
Essentially, the lights are on during the off-peak periods. During the peak periods when everyone needs electricity in the morning and in the evening, that's when we affect them or interrupt the power supply.
All right, so we've started with 2 municipalities in the Northwest, and we understand more municipalities are facing cut-offs in coming days.
Well, about 5 other municipalities in the Northwest Province are facing power interruptions on the 18th, which is this coming Wednesday. If they don't act now, between now and then I'm afraid 6 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, we will interrupt them. We also have about 8 other municipalities in the Mpumalanga Province. They have until the 23rd of this month to come up with a plan. If not, we will interrupt their power supply. And let me also state at this stage that we basically have a challenge with 3 provinces, the Free State, Mpumalanga, and Northwest. Of the 10 billion rand, 10.2 billion rand, 7.4 billion rand is owed by municipalities in those 3 provinces. So in other words, if we can get these 3 provinces to start making payments, we will be halfway through, more than halfway through in terms of making sure that we get our money back.
What about the other half, however? Because after my interview last week, people were saying, what about Soweto, which is apparently one of the biggest defaulters?
Well, Soweto, it has to be understood in a particular context. Some people mention Soweto and cluster it with municipalities. Soweto is big. It looks like a municipality, but it's not a municipality. It's just a big place sitting there. And the most important thing about Soweto is that we have 180,000 customers there, meaning that we have 180,000 contracts with individual customers. When we switch off people in Soweto, we switch off individual customers, not the whole place, because we don't have the agreement like the municipalities where you have one person who comes to buy in a bulk. In Soweto, you have separate
Okay, so you have more control because you're giving them electricity directly. 100%. So you can punish the defaulters. In the other cases, you have to punish the municipality 100%. And everybody basically gets involved, unfortunately.
Yes, yeah.
Do you believe that this will resolve the issue? Is this going to be an ongoing thing of power cuts, or do you expect the behind-the-scenes negotiations to work and for this finally to be resolved soon?
There have been behind-the-scenes negotiations as soon as we started with the notices that we gave these municipalities, which is why the Free State is off the hook now, because the provincial government has intervened and they have made payments and also made sort of a provision for them to pay other amounts as we go on. But we're hopeful that this is going to be a lasting solution, because for us as a company, the last thing we want is to have this kind of thing almost every year where we give notices and people are not paying. And one of the other different things that we are doing this time around is that previously we used to have this contract with these municipalities and that will be it. And then sometimes they default and not pay. But this time around we are making these agreements that we have with them, we're making them court orders, meaning that if they default, they are not only going against the agreements with Eskom, but they're also going with the court orders in terms of contempt of court orders. So we're hopeful that municipalities will stick to the agreements.
Is Treasury involved at all? Some are saying, you know, this has just gone on for too long. The municipalities can't pay. People who have paid are going to get cut off just because they're caught up in those municipalities. Is broader government involved?
Broader government is involved. In fact, the National Treasury in particular is involved. You will remember that I think it was in 2015, National Treasury issued a list of 60 defaulting municipalities across the nation, saying to them, if they don't pay or make arrangements with Eskom, they, as the National Treasury, will withhold the conditional grants that these municipalities are getting from, or equitable share that these municipalities are getting from National Treasury. So Treasury, SALGA, and COCTA have been helping us in terms of pushing these municipalities to honor their agreements with Eskom.
All right, thank you for your time this afternoon. So this is getting a real. Eskom spokesperson Khulu Phasiwe there confirming that 2 municipalities in the northwest have been cut off today, and several other municipalities face cut off in other days.